Very strange
Do we
music.
actually get downtime now? Like,
yes.
or is the world going to ruin our fun this time?
So
It's hard to say. We're on a
As,
black screen.
are you?
Yeah.
Are you really? For the world map?
We're on, it's a black screen for me.
Black screen for me.
I'll try to
Did you
refresh, I
leave
guess.
us on that new area?
No, I know why.
You left us on that new thing.
No, I know why. Bright light, 99999, sure. Save. Can you see now?
Yeah.
I could always see it, so I'm confused as to what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's a good question because I loaded in on the world map too.
I loaded it on the world map, but then I clicked off for a little bit, and then
Try
it came
refreshing.
back and it was.
Try refreshing your page.
I'm refreshing right now.
Yeah, if
I
you're
see it.
still on the black page, refresh.
I see
the
it now.
page. Okay. So yeah, just refresh.
It's just like turning it off and turning it back on again.
Yes. So, last time, you all had an extremely intense, difficult, and painful battle against Alnalder, who you eventually, in the end, managed to drive away. And in doing so, managed to meet at least one of the Warrior Light's other compatriots, Grahatia, though, much to the chagrin of some of you, did not offer up his link shell. Heading forth towards Ishgard, you got there relatively unscathed from that point on, and made your way quickly to the Forgotten Knights, where you managed to grab a room and began to discuss what it was next that you were going to seek to do. You have, of course, a number of things in front of you that you could do, and a number of things that at least some of the party might consider more important than others. But, along with your new compatriot, Shade, who may or may not be included within this party room discussion, that's up to the party. But with that, discuss.
I would like to point out, literally the last thing that was happening before we fully ended the session is that y'all were getting ready to go to this ginger's place without, like, explaining what the fuck was going on. Like, Shade had just set up that sigil in the middle to try to add a little bit of security, and suddenly everybody's like, we gotta go now.
Oh, don't worry. We won't have to leave the room.
It is not possible to explain gingers. You have to see it to believe it.
But you all paid for literally a week of this room. What's...
We'll be coming back here.
Okay.
Simple explanation is
No,
it's
You're not helping. Not helping. Okay, I'll just go. I'll follow your lead. Get my stuff out of my room.
Oh, we're not fighting. You can leave everything here that you don't want to carry.
My luck is if I do that, I end up not coming back to the same spot.
Oh, don't worry. It's a very safe place. We'll be right back in a jip jab. Star will pull a scroll out of her bag.
Bill packs his bag anyway, just because. Habit.
Un momento, por favor. I'm changing the music because I found a much better one. Stop. Yes. I have figured out how bongo works.
Nice.
Oh, hang on.
We like that.
Yes. There we go. This is a very fitting theme, I think, for Ginger.
Oops. Oh god, I did not know I could do that.
Yeah, no, all of you can. Alright,
okay.
so. Yes? Alright, so as you pull the scroll out and read it, the paper itself transforming into this golden flame before the golden portal appears before you.
Seems like going through a lot of portals recently.
Step in.
Well, let's go. Come on.
Guess I'll follow everybody through.
Alright. As you enter in, the first thing you notice are the 4 blue portals adjacent on either side of yours. Standing about 30 feet in front of all of you, you can see what looks like a short, kind of almost scrawny-looking Elizin. This really kind of tattered white hair, and he looks up at Ginger and says, "Well, if you would just help us, we would be able to solve this a lot faster." To which Ginger just kind of replies, "And if I were to do that, that would be taking sides. And everyone who does business with me knows that that is the one thing I will never do." Ellison just kind of grumbles and says, "Then if you won't help us, would you perhaps trade the information?" If I were to trade such information, I do not think even your precious Tataru would be able to afford such a thing.
Uh-oh.
The Ellison...
Alpha's playing with the bank account.
Ginger's playing for keeps.
Alphino says, "I assure you, she is quite the capable accountant, much more capable than some of the Scions, I'm sure.
Himself.
But I'm sure that your price is not something that would be beyond the scope of our coffers, if you will."
I think we came at a bad time.
She just kind of looks at him and taps her chin for a moment before her eyes drift up to all of you, and she says, "Perhaps it is best we discuss this matter later. It seems I have guests I need to attend to." And as she stands up, you watch as this I've got some pictures of her. I'm not gonna share them just yet because they're not exactly the ones I want to give y'all. But what you see is this very tall female Rogadin, very, very muscular, far more muscular than most female Rogadins. She's wearing this very long, very elegant golden dress. It goes like right from the top of her chest all the way down, and then kind of splits about halfway down her legs. She just kind of brushes past the Ellison as she opens her arms out to all of you, and she says, "The wonderful customers who helped me start it all. I see you have another newcomer. You all seem to be making quite a bit of new friends recently."
Ow.
Gonna stand there kind of awkwardly.
Yeah, hi.
Is this a bad time?
Oh no, my associate here was merely inquiring as to some information.
We've met Alphino, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
However, at the moment, he is not wearing his signature blue and white outfit. He's wearing some, like, scraggly-looking clothes, and his hair seems almost intentionally unkempt.
You think this kid putting on an act?
But is it still like?
Or is he wearing pajamas?
You can very clearly tell it's Alphino, but he's trying to disguise himself. And admittedly, if y'all didn't already know exactly what he looked like, you might actually have some trouble recognizing him. But all of you have seen his face. Well, except for Shade, who has no idea who this is.
I'm just sitting in the back of the crowd, minding my business.
He's pulling a Clark Kent.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, except
Do
it's
we
reversed,
break
he
it?
puts on the glasses.
Or do we play along and let him feel disguised?
He is heading back towards one of the portals at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Off table, don't let Tyler catch you playing with their money again.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Curiosity.
yeah.
What information was he seeking? Or what was the question he asked?
He wanted me to divulge the location of certain Garleans who have frequented my shop recently. It was, for him, unfortunate that he met them while within my shop. Because though outside of it war doth rage, within my shop I am God. And I do so loathe violence. He was not very pleased. So he wanted the names and locations of the Garleans that I help. And though I am a woman of business, giving the information away for free would be choosing sides. So if he...
Did you give him a price, or...?
I did not give him a price, no. I simply let him know that the price would be simply too large for his coffers. I think the only one that would be able to afford purchasing such sensitive information would be the Sultana herself, though it would come at the great expense of her people to do so.
Gotta protect your interests, I suppose.
My.
I was just thinking, if you sold the same information to both sides, each their locations, then you're still in the middle again.
Well, selling them does not put me on either one side. They're paying a price that I have deemed necessary for the information, so they get the information. But if he wants it for free, that would be me trying to choose a side.
Oh, okay. As long as you have your line set.
Oh yes, and of course I will, admittedly, as prolific as he and his compatriots are, I would, for an enormous price, sell their locations too. However, the one people whose locations are not for sale, her eyes kind of glance over the party.
Don't worry about it. Some days we don't even know where we are.
It's true.
Yeah, if only she was lying.
If only. But you did not come here to listen to me prattle on, I'm sure. Also,
Well,
I didn't
as you-
please, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. She was gonna say, it also seems like those that really want to find us apparently can, whenever they damn well please.
It does seem like that. Although, is there any particular reason all of you seem to vanish all at once the other day?
Stalker friend.
Yeah, that's.
One of our stalkers locked us in another dimension for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
How did you know we disappeared?
Well,
Tracks.
as your compatriot said, you have to protect your interests. I do not spy on any of you, do not worry. I am never listening in or watching you as you sleep. But I have my ways of knowing when my interests simply vanish without a trace.
Oh. Is that so?
Sounds kind of like that. It sounds kind of like that guy from the Starlight Festival or Starlight Celebration.
She's another one of our stalkers, but she's okay. She's on our side, mostly. As long as it gets a profit in her pocket.
Well, as I said, you and your ilk are the only ones I would not sell out. No matter the
We
price.
appreciate it.
But is there something, I'm sure, more important that you wish to speak to me about?
We were getting ready to do some dangerous experiments, and we needed to see if our pocket dimension was ready.
Ah,
Well, I
yes.
just filled up.
So we
Wow.
don't level a city by accident.
Interesting. As she turns to the side for a moment, you watch as she raises one hand and... No, not yet. Don't worry, I will. She turns her head and begins to trace some runes in the air. And as she does, you watch as another portal, this time a platinum portal appears. And she motions for you all to enter. She says, "Please."
Follow her in, or enter.
Alright.
Hey,
Yep.
So I'll follow.
Alright, give me 1 second. I just need to find...
Sorry, we forgot to introduce you to Fantasy Costco, where all your dreams come true. Got a deal for you.
Doobie-doobie-doo. Yeah. Alright. Oh, you know what? You're right. That would be... Yeah, okay. So... As you step through the portal, I know it's going to be very black. Let me know if it's super laggy for anyone, but you're all down here. And you should have vision, to a degree.
Yeah.
It's still blurry. I'm still loading in.
Yeah. Again, let me know if it's like super laggy for any of you, because if it is, I'll just turn off the dynamic lighting.
All I see is black right now.
It might be nice without the darkness.
Okay, okay. I was trying to be like super cool and give y'all like dynamic lighting, and but the map is very big. So there we go. I'll just reveal the whole map for y'all.
Whoa.
yeah, it was even slowing mine down, and that doesn't
Yeah.
usually happen.
It's an
Holy crap, that's all.
extremely big map. The very first save of this map I did was, and I shit you not, over 70,000 kilobytes. Which translates to like a couple hundred megabytes. The resolution was like 18, almost 19,000 by like 20,000. It was enormous.
Wow.
Yes, but here is your house. And as you all step through, Ginger does as well. And as you all step through, one by one, you find not only your position in space relative to everything else changes, but your clothes change. Your very look changes, and almost all of your physical appearances undergo like this almost beautification, if you will. Your clothes change to these more regal, but kind of sophisticated looking robes and almost tuxedo-like garb. And following in behind you is Ginger, who goes from wearing this very long, elegant, golden dress to a almost completely see-through dress. This like very, very thin silk that almost intentionally hugs her curves.
Immediately glue my eyeball to the floor.
And all of your attention is of course drawn to her because she begins to speak after you all enter, and she says, "This is your home. Upon entry, all of you have now the ability to enter this place at will. It takes merely an action to summon the portal, and then you must but step through. And the only ones currently allowed to enter this place are you and me. Nothing else, save for maybe a god, may enter this place. And even should they use magic to dispel the portal, well, it'll be unfortunate for them because you will remain here. This place is not like many spells which summon a mansion from nowhere for a limited time. This is an entirely new plane of existence, all for you, just as requested."
It's just a little speechless. This is way over my pay grade. Oh, wow.
Stars needs buckle and she hits the floor and she's just staring just down like holy shit.
We've got some strong friends.
Noticed. Again. Wow.
We've also come across some very good paydays.
A few moments
This is
later,
why we're broke right now.
you all hear several footsteps beginning to very, very quickly approach the party from further within. And a few moments later, you watch as about 30 maids and butlers come walking in from all angles, from sides and from in front of you, of various races. And Ginger says, "Oh, and do not worry, all of these creatures, if they could be called that, are what you might say conjured illusions. They're not actual people, they're more like servants that have been bound to this place to aid you in any manner you desire. They're all amazing cooks. They can all play music wonderfully, any kind of instrument, truly. They all know many bedtime stories, and if you're looking for a little companionship, Well,
Pink. It goes from white to pink.
Yeah,
Oh my.
The good thing I got fur. They can't see me blush.
There's no hiding with me. Albino just went total pink. I can
They're
change
just
race
going
one
to
fell
like
swoop.
reach back and part her hair in two and pull it forward in front of her face and just quiet squeal into her hair.
A veritable legion of multi-talented servants. Quite interesting.
all at your beck and call. Chisume looks over to you, Star, and like pulls on your top your dress. He's like, is everything okay?
Yeah, precious child. Everything is okay.
Fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
Was MJ
You're-
roboting for anyone else?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, she was.
Oh,
What's wrong?
you're roboting.
you're
roboting.
roboting.
Oh no, hold on.
In the meanwhile, Velvy looks to Shade. Is there a particular reason you're blushing?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Have you? Are you Why are you embarrassed?
Not a lot of experience with women. Training as a conjurer most of my life doesn't leave a lot of room for anything else.
Well, now's your chance to get plenty of experience with a veritable pool of them. Hello.
hello.
Welcome back.
Somehow turns almost a beet red now.
Ginger,
No,
just
I
like
missed.
second.
Oh, it's just as bad, sweetie.
Um,
Oh, you're good now. I think.
I'm good now.
Yeah.
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 All that was happening was Ginger was poking more fun at Shade
Oh my.
and teasing him about
Velvy
his,
was-
Making him turn colors.
And Velvy was asking questions as she does, and apparently also helping in that.
Oh my.
Aside from that, though, one thing you will find quite interesting, she kind of gently glides between all of you as she moves forward towards the immediate left over to here. I don't have a token for her. But she comes over to here, and as all of you enter, you see all of your chocobos that you had in the stable, just right here. And Ginger smiles and says, and whenever you enter or leave, your chocobos will either appear here or immediately with you. As well your cart, of course. Though,
Wow.
I must admit, I couldn't fit the design of a room for the cart just yet, so it's here, I assure you, though its contents are inaccessible while you are here.
Alright.
Also, speaking of content currently unavailable, the second floor and above is currently inaccessible. I have a couple of renovations that I want to do, and the magic is not exactly easy to work with, but I promise it will be there, and there will be a nice little hint for you when it is available, so that way you are all aware that it's ready.
Very bad. These are.
Basically, she's saying it'll come in a future patch.
Haha.
But damn, I forgot how big this was commissioned to be.
Me too.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, this is only the first floor. I think we commissioned 4 floors or 5.
I
don't
was
know.
4, I believe.
That's what I thought for.
Did
But
anybody commission a hot tub?
Maybe we should have asked for a sauna room.
well, don't worry. Right over here, and she leads you over to this room. Here, I think it's Shift. Yeah, Shift ping. She leads you over there, and as you enter, you can see there are on the piano and harp already 2 of the servants that have begun to play, and they're playing this very soft Zelda-like music. Because they're amazing like that. But another thing you're beginning to notice is the temperature in this place. While even in Ginger's the temperature is controlled, this place is, at least to each of you, it feels like the temperature is like specifically designed for you, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like it's not too hot and not too cold. It's just right for each and every one of you.
Ooh.
Okay, that begs the question. I think about wanting it hotter.
It gets hotter. For you.
Huh. Nice.
Yes. But Ginger says, this here would be the equivalent of a living room. Here you will find likely the most relaxed atmosphere. And she points to each of the trees, and you can see fruit growing from them. And the trees themselves seem to almost be growing up out of the ground itself, or out of the floor. And each one of them has oranges, another one has lemons, and the third one has apples. And Ginger says, these are everlasting fruit. You pick one, and another one will appear instantaneously. And truth be told, I do so love fresh apples. And she grabs one and just plucks it off, and as she does, you watch as another one just doesn't just spring into existence, but grows very rapidly to a full-sized and ripened apple.
Ooh.
And then, of course, through that door right there, you have a bathroom. And I will say, I put quite a few of those in here because I like having one close at hand at any time. So I figured you likely would too. And so
It certainly does come in handy for many people living in one place.
Burp, sorry. As she begins to lead you further through, she points out this to be the great hall of the house. Those stairs wind up to the above floors, of course. And then this right here is actually an elevator for even quicker access when you just don't want to walk.
Jesus.
Nice.
This right here is a chest, which she explains that essentially what you're allowed to do is you can store items in the chest, and then when you want to access them, instead of summoning the portal, you can instead choose to summon the chest. The chest will then appear, it can be destroyed, and if it is destroyed, any contents within are lost forever. But it essentially acts as a storage anywhere you want. It has enough space to hold up to 15,000 pounds.
Jeez!
This is what happens when you have a powerful enchantress who can create her own dimensions.
Yeah. And also a buttload of money.
Yeah, that also
her
helps.
services.
That also helps.
Like, are we sure that she's not the big bad?
Well, good we made friends with her.
Okay, so if she's the big bad, I'm on her side.
Oh,
Because she's gonna win.
True.
Alright. Next, she does not lead you further in. Instead, she takes you down in through the hallways and into this room, of which the door is right here. This, as you enter, you can tell very clearly, is the kitchen, and it is massive. You can see all along the walls there are cupboards and refrigerators and various other accoutrements for cooking and all sorts of prepping for food. In fact, there's even an enormous, what looks like pants outline, now that I'm looking at it this way, where it's just filled with various cheeses and meats and cutting boards and knives and other utensils. And Ginger looks at all of you and says, I don't know about any of you, but when I eat, I do not skimp on the pleasantries. So I figured all of you would want a very big kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melvy's looking around like, the things I could do in here.
Same.
Says the person who has to eat 3 times her size.
Yeah.
I mean, that all the more reason to know how to cook good. Figure you gotta eat a lot, you might as well eat really well.
Yeah.
So, moving forward, she takes you back and through the Great Hall over to here. She points to the door right here and says, there, as yet another bathroom. And just beyond these doors are the bedrooms. And on each of the doors for this hallway, you can see different names and a different symbol above all of them. Although, funnily enough, 2 of them are named for characters who are no longer here. Which would be Oda and Delger. Or no, yeah. However, upon seeing the fact that they are not here, you watch as Ginger sort of waves her hand, almost like she's almost like she's holding an eraser right in front of each of them, and the text just vanishes. And she says, "We'll have those changed to whoever it is that you wish to occupy those rooms, shall we?"
Mm-hmm.
Most certainly.
Do you wish to explore your rooms before the tour continues?
Yeah.
I would love
Yes.
to.
All right. So going right down the list, we'll start with you, Kryn. As you enter your room, you can see there is a bed, and there are other amenities for resting and sleeping. However, the thing that catches your attention immediately is the enormous lab that occupies about 85% of the room. It has...
Which room is mine?
Yours is this one right here. I don't have everything that's actually going to be in the design for you just yet, but it will be there. But you can see all sorts of gadgets and gizmos, who's its and what's its galore. You can see thingamabobs and even thingamajigs everywhere. And overall, it's essentially a new lab, a completely furnished workspace for you, with a bed for if you decide to sleep.
Singing of Bob's Himiny Jig sounds like we're channeling our inner Little Mermaid.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That was the reference, yes.
Figured.
Going next, Velvet. As you enter into your room, which is this one,
I didn't see a ping.
You didn't? Right here.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes. You can see the entire room looks very regal and has an air of royalty to it. You can see what look to be some of the finest silks you know of that are used for the beds, like the bedding and the drapes that come down on either side on all sides of it. I don't know exactly what that kind of bed is called, but it's basically like the entire edge of the bed has this like frame that comes up, and then there's a top to it with like silk drapes that can be let down to cover the sides.
That's called a four-poster.
Yeah.
Four-poster bed.
Yeah, that. And all four sides have this like extremely fine and very, very soft silk. Aside from that, you can see all along the walls what look like different gun breakers. Though you don't immediately recognize any of them. You realize they're gun breakers, both from how they seem to almost carry themselves, as well as the weapon that all of them are holding, which is the very weapon that you now hold.
Reincarnations of the same soul. I'm guessing.
And make a history check.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Maybe. You have no idea. But yeah, that's a real good theory. Maybe it's right. Who knows?
I'm not convinced by the way you're saying it. And by being not convinced, I mean I'm not convinced that you're saying no. Specifically.
Who knows? Stario.
Yes.
Your room is right here. As you enter yours and pull your hair away to get a good look around, one thing you notice is, as you pull your hair around and, I guess, Aidwin as you walk by towards your room, as she opens the door, there are no walls, there's no ceiling, there's no floor. It's just, as you look around, everything is just stars in every direction. The only thing that's different is the one light source from the door being open. And as you look around, you can see your bed and other implements sort of, just sitting out there. But another thing that you see is what looks to be this, like, relatively small stone altar-looking setup with what looks to be one type of aetheryte crystal kind of almost jammed into it. And each of them are like they're not perfectly straight up and down. They're all like at various angles, but they're all in a circle. They all form a circle within the center of the stone altar itself.
Hmm.
Do you close the door?
Ah. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I was waiting for you to. Answer.
Yeah, I think. Yes, she will close the door.
All right. As you close the door, which for you, I didn't mention this, but I should have. You, Velvy, and Rakshanas, as well as this room. Actually, no, it's all the rooms. All the rooms have very large double doors. But as you close your doors, the other side of the doors just becomes filled in by that same like starry space. And for a moment you're both enraptured by it, but also there's like a sense of panic because you can't see the door and you don't know where the door is anymore. But as you begin to panic about that, and as that begins to creep into your head, there's something else that seems almost like a tidal wave that just washes over it, and rather than not knowing where the door is, without even looking, you just know exactly where the door is. So essentially,
Okay,
essentially what I'm saying is you're not trapping yourself. You know where the door is. But while the door is closed, it just looks like you're in space, essentially. Just kind of walking around in space. Now for you, Adwin, yours is right here.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter, you notice that your bed is relatively small, although it's still comparatively large to most of the beds you're used to sleeping in, and like inns and whatnot. The silks that comprise it are made of what look like these very fine red hues, which reminds me, Velvy, your silk looks more like a light bluish hue.
Makes sense.
But getting back to you, Adwin, the very center of it, you can see this very large, what looks like pretty expensive, but at least made from pretty expensive material, looking rug. Which, by the way, for any of this stuff that I'm telling you guys about, if you want to make like rolls or anything to try and determine anything at all, just let me know. I'll let you know what you need to roll. But as you look around, you can see there are several other what look like relatively expensive like looking materials used in this room. The wood itself looks like this very dark mahogany. You can see it should be over here, but it's not currently, but it'll be over here. What looks like this large mahogany table, also made of what looks like this very darkened timber or darkened hue, same like with the floor. But on it you can see what looks like this very large book, completely empty. Sitting, and as you're kind of looking over it, you glance over towards the bed, and on this side of it, you see what looks like a painting of Joyful Ginger. Just sitting there, and it's one of those it's one of those pictures that looks like or feels like it's looking directly at you. Like no matter where you are, you just kind of like move around the room, and it seems like it's always staring at you. You also notice another door in your room, right over here.
Let's check what it is.
Going through, you see what looks like following the same theme as your room, a bathroom that is comprised of almost exclusively expensive materials. The tub itself is made of some of the most high quality marble you've ever seen. The sink itself, as well as the counter that accompanies it, is made of the same marble, and even the cabinets themselves are made of marble. Whereas normally there's some wooden interior just to kind of cheapen the cost. There's no wood. It seems like everything that was put in here was made of this high quality and very expensive marble. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. As soon as my sheet loads.
11. Yeah, the one common theme that you've noticed with your room is that everything looks like it's extremely expensive. But, Shay, do you happen to walk into the last room?
Considering I was new to the group, I don't know if he'd be comfortable making an assumption like that.
Alright, fair enough. Right. Ginger is waiting over here for all of you when you wish to convene. Chizuma has been with Star this whole time, by the way, just to clarify. And she is completely lost in all the stars.
Yeah. I'll just follow along with everybody staying outside rooms and just kind of very much intimidated, not used to this level of money being flaunted around him.
Does Star wish to stay in her room for a bit more? It's fine if she does. Say again?
I'm making something to eat. I'm not by the computer.
All
I'll follow it.
Alright, gotcha. So immediately to your right, you all see yet another lovely bathroom that you can use whenever you wish. But going through this hall, I would say is, for anyone who happens to invade this place, going through this hall is a point of no return for them. And as she turns around, she raises one hand and just lightly taps what you at first thought would just be the air. But as she does, you watch as this ripple, almost like in a pond, just kind of ripples out. And this it forms this large shimmering barrier. And she says that this right here is what I like to call a modified prismatic wall. It is indefinite, cannot be dispelled by any means, and the only ones allowed through it are all of you and me. Just as a warning, there is no current way to change this. She looks, as she says that, she kind of looks towards Shade.
I will wait in the front room since I am new.
I do apologize.
It's okay. I'll just go find a chair and put my feet up.
We'll fix it later.
Yes. It's a modified spell, so I'm sure I can just simply modify it some more. It'll be fine. Going forward, while most of what you've been walking through so far has been made of like some wood and, albeit relatively fine wood, and some stone here and there for like the stables and the like, as you go forward, past the barrier, the wood stops like abruptly, and it changes to what looks like stone. I will say, before the barrier, it is impossible to see beyond the barrier. Once it formed. Before it formed, you could see what like this material was, but once the barrier formed, you couldn't see past it until you went through it. But it's Kryn and Velvy. Give me nature checks. Or survival. Nature or survival, whichever you prefer.
Well, crap.
I wasn't supposed to have advantage. Sorry.
Oh, that's
So, yeah,
unfortunate. Yeah, this looks like stone. Looks like stone.
Yeah, and we've all
more
rolled
to it.
really shitty on our things.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that, just given the fact that there's a roll
So-
for it.
Up here is a fork in the road. Right here you can see what looks like a large arch. There's no door. It's just a large arch. Over here you can see a wooden door with it isn't an arch, but there is a door. Ginger points over there and says, over there is a admittedly basic armory. The weapons are not indefinite, and they're not magical in any way, but there are weapons of all kinds and shapes within. Though there is only one of each, and as I mentioned before, they are all mundane in nature. But if you wish to enchant them or make them magical, they would remain so, should you return them to the armory. You can essentially think of it as a place to store any unwanted or unneeded weaponry. Going forward, she stops you right here, and you can see what looks like two large golden doors, and in front of it is like this large stone lion. And she says, "This here is your treasury. Should you have any gil you wish to store without using the Eorzean scam, then you can store it here. And of course, you can come here whenever you like, so you can simply grab it up whenever you like." And her hand gently taps the head of the stone lion. She says, "While most magic items that summon such a creature like this are pitiful, you can rest assured that this lion, should anyone attempt to get past this point, will give them serious troubles. And more so the treasury." She actually leads you in And you can see in the corners right over here and right here what look like two large female statues. One of a light gray, the other like a very, very dark gray. And she points to both of them and says, "Those are my personal insurance that you all keep me well funded. Should anyone actually break into your treasury, 2 simulacrums of myself will emerge from those statues. And I doubt there are very many creatures that can survive one of me, let alone 2. However, they only activate should an intruder enter the treasury. Moving forward, unless anyone has any questions or comments.
Not at all.
Alright.
No, just
Alright. So moving forward up here, you can see what looks like a single doorway right here. And then what looks like an intentional like stone overhang with a set of double doors right here. She points off to the side and says, "That would be your dungeon. Should you bring anyone here that you wish to imprison or hold hostage, you can bring them to this plane, and by the simple virtue of you willing it, though unfortunately they do have a chance to resist it. If they come here with at least one of you having the intention to imprison them, they will have to struggle to not be placed within your dungeon. I will admit it is not exactly the most pleasant room to look at. It's the magic to create such a place was not. She kind of looks through all of you and she says, and you can see her face like visually dims for a moment as she speaks.
Do you need me to cover Chisumi ears?
If you would.
Cover Chisumi ears.
As you do, she says, the magics involved in creating your dungeon were evil in nature. Creatures who are held there are unlikely to want to be there, even if they came with you willingly. The nature and intention of the area that lies beyond that door, I will admit, is not one that you want to use lightly. It's one intended for you to be able to gather information and be able to ensure the security of those within. Though, I will say, any creature captured within one of your cells, be they god or otherwise, will find it very difficult to escape. I put the majority of the magical enchantment on this place in that area for this purpose.
Mm-hmm.
What I wouldn't have been able to give to get an altar into there.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I know, right?
However, beyond these doors, and she gestures towards the other two as she makes her way and pushes them open, and she opens her arms out as she enters, and she says, "This is your grand throne room. The most secure location in this entire plane of existence. She motions to both of the quadrilateral pillars and the large fonts that rise up from them. And all of you, except for Aedwin, upon entering, are immediately overcome by an enormously hot wave of heat. And you all, including Aedwin, realize that the reason why is because that what is spewing from those fonts is lava.
Jesus.
And in the center, you see this large carpet with this very intricate design, and at the very far end, you see 5 thrones, one far more grandiose than the others. And she says, "This room I designed with the intent that, should all other measures fail, you would be able to hold out here indefinitely. It was difficult to create this room with the dungeon being created at the same time. However, those fonts of lava are controlled by your will. When you will it, as a standard action, you can cause a small 5-foot pool of lava to appear at any point you desire, and it will persist there as long as you wish. I will also point out that nothing within this realm can be destroyed unless you will it, which means you can fire off any level of magic or use any attack you wish anywhere within this realm. And unless you will it, there will be no damage to the surroundings."
Are you saying this is the best place to summon something?
If that is your intent, sure. As I said,
Cool.
this is intended to ensure your survival above all else. And to ensure that the lava here has been enchanted to not harm any of you currently. Should you wish it, I can potentially alter the enchantment, much like the initial barrier, to include other people. And do keep in mind, the original barrier is simply a prismatic wall at the end of the day. Any creature who is stupid enough to be able to actually pass through it will still be faced with many challenges along the way. Just know that it's not an insurance plan to keep all out, just the majority of them.
Prismatic wall should be enough to stop just about anything. It's literally a technicolor butt fuck you. Goddamn.
That's true.
So it's not the best place to summon something. Got it.
Well, the prismatic wall covers around this particular area. You can imagine the walls themselves as the prismatic wall, as the spell.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wish to summon something into here, technically I suppose it would be possible. Just know that once it's in here, the prismatic wall will not protect you from anything already inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I suppose technically if you left this area, it would theoretically have to pass through the walls again to try and escape.
Mm-hmm. Start just like nodding and keeping your eyes away from Ginger.
That bisexual panic kicked hard.
Oh, it's like high drive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aidwin is also not.
Maybe it was implied enough, but I guess primarily because I want to see the body panic even more. The dress is all she is wearing, just for clarification. There's nothing else. For clarification.
Velvy, by contrast, is not being shy.
I'm so glad I am up front, just taking a nap.
She looks to you, Star and Aidwin. Actually, what is Kryn doing at this moment?
I was following everybody else right now.
Alright.
But I would like it if the next opportunity she can get Shade added to the dimensional door and
the not dying.
and then not dying.
Yeah, so we appreciate that. Hey, come in! Oh,
Technically,
sorry.
could try to pass through it.
I mean, I have the ability to apply resistances to myself, but why? Why should I do that?
He could very technically actually pass through it. It would just be very, very painful.
Yeah, I like no, thank you.
But as she looks at all of you and she says, I will say the last thing about this room. Though we will have to change one of the throne's attunements. Each of these thrones are attuned to each of you individually. So, in order, this one will become blank. This one is Kryn. I don't remember why. I don't know why I couldn't think of your name. Or sorry, not Kryn. Velvet. Yeah. This one is Kryn, right here. This one is Astario, and this one is Aidwin.
I get the big one.
Because you're a fucking princess.
I mean, the one that's blank now might have to go up a size because Rogan had big ass.
It's true.
It's
true.
Big boy.
I need a big chair for my fat ass.
Hey Aidwin, what is your wisdom score?
My wisdom score is 17.
Make an insight check for me.
Okay. 14.
Okay. You gain no information.
Today is the day we are not going to learn any big secrets.
Apparent fucking Lee.
What is with this shit? Oh, well, there it is.
Wow.
But I'd have no reason to roll initiative or to roll
not
advantage.
necessarily. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have no reason to try and figure it out again. Because what I will say, because I feel like with skill checks, since you can't crit fail, which is an auto fail, you should get something, depending on the roll. And given that this is an insight roll, you don't know why, and you don't know what it relates to. But something about all of this feels not. It feels weird, but in like a good way, if that makes sense.
I mean, we're getting pampered by our rich fucking.
It feels more than that.
Are we sugar babies?
It,
No, we paid her.
It feels like it's more than that. It doesn't feel like it's simply. To you, it doesn't feel like you are being simply pampered. It feels like something more.
No, essentially, we're wannabe warlocks and she's our patron. Or in this case, matron.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
I don't care how much money y'all spent on this. We are going to for this.
Now, that was from your 14. Now, with that in mind, did you still want to try and do that second roll? That 20?
I do.
Okay. With that, as you...
She'll sit for a few minutes and try to figure it out.
Yeah, because all of this is, like, happening over quite a while and whatnot, and she's, like, kind of explaining all this, so you would have had time to, like, start to think about all this. And as you're thinking about it, and just kind of sitting in that throne, and just kind of thinking... You remember being able to kind of look into some of the other rooms, and as you're looking around, it definitely feels like, or it definitely could feel like a kind of like sugar mama spoiling you kind of situation. But as you look at everything, from the expensive materials to this throne, it could be that you're overthinking it, but it almost seems intentional.
Intentional that what? I'm sorry.
All the expensive materials and for this throne being attuned to you, which, to clarify, means that only you can sit in it. It seems like all of these choices are intentional. Like, more so than just...
Ginger wants your booty.
Yeah, more so than just, like, Star getting, you know, a room for astrologers kind of thing.
Like you would say no.
I wouldn't say.
So what? What? It's like saying like, what? Like the throne specifically being a little bit bigger is like it's intentional for her.
Yeah. It almost seems like everything. At least from what you are able to tell. Mind you, one room you did not manage to see into was Kryn's. But it seems from what you can tell, everything that is directed towards you seems to be made of intentionally expensive material, or made to be very extravagant.
I mean, hey, Aiden wouldn't say no to Ginger either. But
Swiggity, she coming for that booty.
But Ginger looks at all of you and says, "So, as I said, by simply entering, all of you are able to re-enter this area at a whim, standard action, to summon the portal to enter. Keep in mind, the portal itself only lasts for a minute, and when you escape, you can only arrive at currently at a destination that you have attuned to. So an aetherite crystal you have attuned to. It is a limitation of the magics, but as is the nature of other financial limitations.
This is so useful.
So if you guys wish, you can effectively add a feature that allows you to summon a portal to your home as a standard action whenever you wish. There is no limitation on how many times per day you can do it.
I love that.
Just keep in mind that after a minute, that portal closes and the only place you can exit at is an aetherite crystal.
That is absolutely fine. Because we could be out in the middle of nowhere, come back here,
And get
wait for the portal to
all the
close,
way.
and then appear in a town that we're familiar with.
Yeah. Basically, I'm circumventing the etheric teleportation features and whatnot that I gave y'all. But you know, y'all ordered a fucking extra-dimensional plane to be created for you, so...
Although, who wanted it this fucking big again?
Yes, this was everything so far that I am seeing is everything we asked for. We're still missing 3 more floors of stuff that we've asked for.
Jesus fuck.
Oh yeah.
Why
I mean,
y'all-
there's so much?
To put it in better perspective, it is not that the question you should be asking is not who asked for this much. The question you should be asking is why did we not limit her on the size of this place?
Yeah, actually.
Because that is what you did not do. All you did was say, hey, we want this place and we want, like, basically for it to be our house. And she was like, gotcha.
I mean, I don't think any of us are mad about the size.
Oh, yeah.
No, Scar's just a little overwhelmed because, like, she comes from a teeny farm.
Hey. Ginger's an artist. Let's let the artist work her magic, literally. And figuratively, but literally.
Also,
Yeah, no.
you can see the most of the map, but it's probably the most prevalent here at the throne room. If you look at the very top, you can see some very interesting lighting happening. I worked really hard on this one map, and I want some validation, damn it. I'm gonna be real.
You did amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yes.
I can't
Yes,
see it yet. It's all blurry for me still.
Oh, is it really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the thing. I have a good graphics card, and it shouldn't be doing this.
Here, what I'll do, I'm gonna put it in player notes. I'm gonna upload a file, which is the map for this, for the first floor.
Actually, easier to view it by zooming out until you can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you got the full-size file, I've got the TV for it. I can see it.
Yeah, I'm uploading it to. I'm putting it in player notes. Alright, it is currently uploaded. There you go. That is the. That is not the map. That is not the map. That is not the map.
That is not the map.
That is not the map. Never mind, I'm dumb. This is the map. Here you go.
On the map. On the map.
On the map. On the... By the way, there are something I didn't mention yet, but I wanted to flex on my Dungeon Alchemist skills because that's what I created this map in. No, we're not sponsored, unfortunately. I should probably state that since I am uploading this to YouTube.
That's true.
Just as clarification, we are not sponsored by Dungeon Alchemist. Although, if you wish to, hit me up.
Hit us up.
It'll never happen, let's be real. But one thing I do want to
Don't say
mention...
that. Maybe it will.
Put positive vibes into the world and positive things come back. Come on.
That's very true. Speaking of positive vibes out in the world, there are, as I'm sure you've noticed, several windows. I don't know why I suddenly forgot the word. Windows. There are several windows that, look-outy things that do point out. Apparently, one of which points out to nothing. Cough, cough. Excuse me. Quite a few that point to nothing, apparently. However, looking out in any of these, and it was actually most prevalent down here at the stables, where this side is made of just wood fencing. Outside of this immediate facility, it's just nothing but stars. Just like an endless expanse of stars. You are unsure of whether or not there is any solid ground outside of this current building. Which also, just as a note, the very beginning was a drawbridge, which I put in because I was like, it doesn't connect to anything, but how hilarious would it be if there was just a drawbridge that led to nothing? So I put a drawbridge there.
Bridge to Terabithia. No, let's not jinx it.
Oh no.
But yeah, so there is your house. With that, almost an hour and a half in.
We could talk about this big open area here.
Which one?
I was about to ask
Yeah.
the same question. The garden
That's
slash.
Oh,
monument.
yes.
What
Oh,
about
that area.
So that area, I forgot about because I'm super zoomed in. Ginger leads you there. It's an offshoot, actually, right over here. Let me shift click. There's actually an arch right there that leads into another hallway that leads to a closed door. And upon exiting out the door, you are greeted to what looks like probably the most lush garden any of you have ever seen. It's filled with any number of herbs and vegetables, fruit trees, essentially almost anything you could want is here, as far as like plant-based products.
With my background kind of being conjured, attuned of nature, could I have kind of wandered my way over here, just kind of found my way over here just because? Ooh.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. In fact, actually, given that I forgot about it, and I am not one to retract my statements, you would have actually discovered this all on your own. And you would have actually probably been here for quite a while before the party arrived. And one thing you, being a white mage and being more attuned to nature simply by virtue of your class, and being able to spend at least a little bit of time here, you can tell that these are not the grass and the trees and the fruits in this garden are not magical in nature. The trees that were in the living room were magical. The fruit that you picked off and all that was magical. Everything here is natural.
They actually took the time to grow this.
Mm-hmm.
This was not made by magic. That's just that much impressive. He's going to wander around the garden.
Yeah. So
and commune with the spirits, so to speak.
So one thing you'll be able to tell by the shadows themselves is that there are 4 particular objects within this area that are much longer than their 2D counterparts would lead you to believe. These are what look like 4 obelisks, rather large obelisks, in fact. Each of them do have carvings on them. One of them is Earth, or is the symbol for Earth. One of them is the symbol for air. One of them is the symbol for fire, and one of them is the symbol for water.
We'll probably end up popping a squat right in the middle of all 4 of them, and that'd be like the best place to meditate ever.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and give me, as the party enters, go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Ready?
With advantage. Because I love giving that out on occasions.
Just a base wisdom check.
Yep.
Trying to make not a saving throw. Let me just, let me just type it out. It's not gonna let me.
If you click on the word wisdom under your ability scores, that's what rolls it.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, you have to click on the actual word itself.
Just a base wisdom check.
Yeah, you have to click on the actual word itself.
with.
Just out of
I am
curiosity, do
very
you have
wise.
advantage?
I thought you said roll.
Oh, right.
Right.
Give him advantage.
I was about to say, yo, dude, instead.
Listen, there are things in play. Okay. Anyways.
I mean, I know I'm crazy, but
We
shit.
are in fact playing a game, so there are of course things
Yes.
in play.
You are sometimes correct. 50%
try to
of
do
the
that.
time, it is always. Wow. Honestly, it wouldn't really matter because you rolled a fucking 19 otherwise. But you did roll a 25, which actually does matter. Or does it? Who knows? As you sit down in between all of these obelisks and begin to meditate,
I'll have my staff across my knees as I usually hold on to it.
right, and as you do, you can feel this heightened sense of awareness. And as you begin to lose yourself into your meditation, just to clarify, you do not notice this, Titus. The rest of you walk in, and as you enter, after an undisclosed amount of time, you see your new Rogadin party member with staff across lap in this like very trance-like meditation state, hovering about 6 feet off of the ground.
Oh, I have become the master Buddha. Okay.
Yoga.
With that, we're gonna go to a break.
Woo.
Starting the recording again. As you are all now entering into the very final room of the entire area, seeing your newly acquired party member currently floating between 4 obelisks.
He the avatar for real.
I'm off in my own little world.
Yeah, the avatar, the spirit world.
Do any of you do anything?
Whoa.
Basically, what I'm saying is Titus cannot act at the current moment.
Is that a is it in a bad way?
Does he look like he's in pain?
I'll say, Aidwin, make an Arcana check, Volvi, make an Insight check.
That's about what I expected for an insight check. Oh shit, that sucks for Reed.
Wow!
For you both!
Wow!
Whoa!
This is the
Wow.
fantastic night, guys.
Wow!
You
Hey,
should have let
Star.
me roll the insight. You should, and
Star.
then you roll the arcana.
Hey, Star. Hey, Star.
Yeah.
Arcana or Insight, you choose.
Wonderful.
You have advantage because of Hattie. Maybe you'll roll good. You surely can't roll below a 3 or a 4, right?
Fucking hope.
Surely.
I mean, with a wisdom, she can't. The lowest she can roll is a 7. And that's if she's not proficient.
Okay. You rolled
Good enough.
better than everyone. You rolled not a 1.
Roll a 1?
You
I
basically
rolled a
rolled
3!
You basically
No!
rolled a 1.
No! No!
I got higher than you with a 1.
That's because you have a modifier on that one. I could have rolled higher than you on the Arcana, because my natural 1 is 2 higher than that.
Wow. Big man.
Intelligent character.
Oh boy. Alright. Star, as you look upon this situation. He does not appear to be in immediate pain. He does not appear to be unwillingly, air quotes, in this position, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There does not seem to be anything wrong with what you're seeing, but you are unable to identify what is happening.
He seems pretty comfortable where he is all she has to say to everyone.
Should we
Is
get him
he
a blanket?
Remember.
Is he supposed to be sitting on air?
I guess. He seemed like he wants to be there.
Maybe it's the room?
Am I far enough under to not be able to hear them at all right now?
Oh yeah, no, you don't notice anything at all.
Okay, I'm in my happy place right now. I am communing with the local spirits, and surprised if there's anything here.
I'll say this so that you know you are in the most luxurious and happiest place you could possibly be at this point. You're just so far deep in your trance that you are unaware of anything going on around you.
Okay.
So
I
you're
have a smile on my face, and I'm just going with it.
Did we wake him up, or...?
Maybe we should? I'm not exactly sure how. I guess she'll approach and poke at his side?
Alright. Titus, make a concentration check for me, which is a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I believe it's the War Mage feat. If you have that, you have advantage on it.
Unfortunately,
Warcaster.
Warcaster, that's what it is.
Normal roll. I did not.
As you're just having the most pleasant experience of your life, your mind just completely gone, and just your entire body filled with this just overjoyed feeling. You find yourself suddenly cut off from that feeling and immediately falling and slamming against the ground. Not taking damage, but your ass really hurts from it.
Oh.
Ow! Oh!
Sorry about that.
Well, that was a wake-up call.
Star barely poked him.
Star, you didn't even come in contact with him. You got within 3 inches of him, and then you just fell.
Hi, welcome back to this plane of existence.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was very, very in my own little world there. That was refreshing.
I mean, you were sitting on air.
What?
Literally. Yeah.
Oh, that's the new one. Normally, nothing like that happens until much later in life. Okay. You gotta get up and kind of brush off his pants a little bit and look around. It's like, oh, you're all here. How was the tour?
Very nice.
I just kind of found this place, so decided to try to do a little bit of meditating, and it seemed to have gone well.
We'll also say that unlike most of the, or I should say, the rest of the castle, which has a roof, out here in this field, there's like this small, like stone quote-unquote fence around the area. It's about knee-high for most of you. But beyond that, you can just kind of see out into the expanse, and it's just nothing but stars in every direction.
This place really is beautiful.
Indeed. It's a little hard to believe what money can buy, technically. This is...
It's a little big for my taste, but it's nice.
To be fair, if I remember the request properly, there was no upper limit on size. I certainly didn't expect this much, though.
Or all the servants.
I think that threw me for as much of a loop as anything else.
The only person here laid when I swear. Yes.
Star, you, as you begin to, or as you say that, Chisume lets go of your hand and begins to walk towards Kryn.
Oh dear.
What'd you do to piss her off?
I didn't do nothing. She's gonna kill me.
Or, I can't remember. She might actually quite like you, though.
She doesn't dislike me.
When she gets over to you, does anyone want to do anything or say or do anything in the meantime? I mean, it's not
I just didn't catch. I heard Aedwin's name, and I didn't catch what was said before it.
Oh, I was saying Aedwin's the only princess here, I swear.
Oh, yeah.
When she gets up to you, Kryn, she kind of tugs on your sleeve a little bit and says, "Can I talk to you alone?"
Ooh.
Always. Where do you want to talk?
She just grabs your hand and begins to like try and pull you with her.
I follow.
I need to make a note to ask Ginger to make a spare room we can give to Shisume.
Does
For
anyone
when she gets big enough to want that space.
Does anyone follow them, or do you let them go off on their own?
Oh no. Shisume clearly wants to have a conversation alone. There's no reason to keep her from having that choice.
Alright. Well, the rest of you enjoy your time either within that area or within whatever room of the of the mansion. Kryn,
Yes.
you are taken back to your room, so if you wouldn't mind moving your token to there. And I'm going to move Chisume there as well. As you enter, why is that not working? Hang on. Oh, right, because there's no grid. I forgot about it. So as you enter into the room, Chisume kind of walks forward and tugs you away from the door a bit. And what is your wisdom score again?
0.
0. So as she pulls you away from it, once you get about 10 or 15 feet away, she lets go of your hand and says, so, and you can see she's visibly nervous. You can see that her hands are like kind of moving erratically and just kind of rubbing against themselves, and her fingers keep like pulling together and then like separating and then intertwining again and then separating. And it's very obvious that she's very nervous.
It's okay, sweetie. Calm down.
So there are things that I don't know if Mama would like, but out of everyone, and her head just kind of like looking to side. She says, I can do things for the party that might help, but I don't know if they'll be good for everyone else.
When it comes to combat, I think we just prefer you to stay on the sidelines for now until you're stronger. If that's where you're going.
Well, there are. I can do things in your fights, and I can help. I just don't always have control over it. That's all.
Well, that is one of the reasons why we went and got this place, so we can teach you control without blowing anything up that belongs to somebody else.
Well, I can do something that kind of looks up at you for a moment. Just a lot of you are getting really close to it, but I can see that your souls, your aether is it wants to grow. It wants more. I want to help, but I don't know if Mama would like it.
Do you want me to talk to her?
Well, it's more that it just requires a lot of aether. You know, her eyes kind of look up at you out of like the corners of them, her head looking towards the ground or facing towards the ground. And she says, "I know that you have something that like traps aether or something like that, and I know I've seen you use it to like create your grenades, and I know it helps with your gun and all that. I don't know. Wanted to see if you would maybe be willing to help me with it.
And what do you need with the aether?
I don't really know, admittedly. I just know I can do these things. I just don't know what they do. I just know that I can do something that might help.
How much aether do you need?
Like a lot. Like, I don't know the exact amount. I just know that it's a lot. And
Is it
I tried to do it on my own, but it was too much for me.
is it more than you can get from your aether crystals when you eat?
She nods.
All right. I pull out the aether converter I'm always wearing on my backpack. I can't do nothing without it, so it's always there. And I bring out the feed that I normally use to go to the rifle, and I hand it to her. I don't know how you take it if you have to ingest it, but lucky for you, I'm the more reckless of this group. I'm willing to experiment. Do you want me to turn it on? Do you want to try the aether from this?
She takes it for a moment and just kind of looks at it as you speak. She says, well, Ginger said that this place was really hard to damage, so it shouldn't cause too much issue, right? She's very clearly concerned.
I'm not worried about the damage done here because we can will it to be repaired, I'm thinking. I'm not a mage. I manipulate mana for Magitech, or not mana, ether for Magitech.
Okay. And so she takes it, and you watch as she puts it up close to her mouth. And the hole itself pretty much just like completely encompasses her entire mouth. And as she closes her eyes and just begins to breathe naturally, I assume you turn on the converter, yeah?
Yes, I will turn it on, although I don't think it actually turns on. I think it's always converting.
Like air quotes, like turn on, right?
Right.
Like allow it to go into her or whatever, right? Like air quotes, however it's supposed to work. As you do that, it's almost like a respirator, where she's kind of breathes in slowly and just breathes out, and occasionally you can see like a puff of like just vaporous smoke just come out of her mouth before it just dissipates into the air. And as she does, you can see the well, I have to really. Yeah. Okay. So as it goes out of her, there's this like faint white mist that begins to pour from her nose, whereas normally it's like this almost translucent vapor. It's a more it begins to become more like opaque, but still see-through, if that makes sense. And as it does, you find your own. You find the room itself beginning to become suffused with this vapor, and the entire room, as this process begins to transpire, becomes harder and harder to see through. Do you do anything, or do you just allow it to continue?
I will allow it to continue. Again, I am the reckless one.
That is very true. All right. So as you allow it to continue and just breathe it in, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
And that's where it sucks.
Yeah, I know. And
That's a high score for me.
oh boy, y'all just continuing the very extremely low rolls today. With a natural 4. Or natural 2 plus 2. 4 a 4. You find yourself almost lost in the fog. The air around you becomes more and more opaque, and as you decide to simply allow it to happen, you can see almost like extremely quickly the entire room begins to become covered entirely with this fog, completely obscuring your vision. But even as it does, you do not find yourself wanting to even try to reach out to stop it. You find yourself just standing there, being almost like you were an observer to everything that's happening. And as you simply watch it happen, oh, that's why it's not even on that screen. As you allow it to happen and watch it happen, you can feel your body. There's this like a slight tingling sensation throughout your entire body before your eyes open, and as they do, you see not the room that was surrounding you, and in fact, even all the sounds as your eyes open, all the sounds around you from the various machineries from the various machines that are in operation, all of that sound just immediately and very, very abruptly just stops, almost like the volume on the sounds went from 100 to 0 instantly, and it's just like it's all cut off. And as your eyes open and you look around, you see in front of you what looks like a glowing silhouette of a female Viera. The only thing that you can tell about the silhouette is just the intense bright light that it is radiating. And from it, you hear words, not spoken, but through your mind, as though it was using telepathy. And the words you hear are, "You have struggled for so long, absent and incapable of knowing the truth. I apologize. It is my fault that this burden was laid upon you. Please, forgive me." And with that, the vision fades, and as that silhouette fades, your mind becomes racing with images. Images of battles and conflicts that you've only heard of in fairy tales. Battles in great wars. All these memories that come surging back they feel like you were there, like you experienced them, that these memories are yours, but they're not you. And as your eyes open and you look in front of you, standing next to Chisume is your turret of choice.
Is my what?
Your turret of choice.
Turret. choice.
Yes. This is where you get your Soul of the Machinist.
Which I gotta go to the page. There's the one on the left and the one on the right. Bishop is a number 2 because Brooke was first on the list.
Yes. So, with that, as you come to, once again, Chisume is unconscious and is just kind of laying on the floor. You can, even at a quick glance, you can tell that she is conscious, she is stable, although she is breathing somewhat heavily. She's clearly labored by her exertions.
Okay, I will pick her up and put her in my bed.
All right. Do you go back out to join the rest of the party?
Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm gonna. I got one of 2 things I can do here. I can go and go get the rest of the party to help, or I can shoot her with the Glock of Friendship to try to make her feel better. But it has no curing; it only heals, and I don't see damage, do I?
You do not. Go ahead and roll a medicine check for me.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure what's going on. One moment she was fine, and now she's unconscious.
Yeah, okay.
I was trying to give you a way
my-
to know what was going on, but
I know. It's the rolls tonight. It's not just me.
yeah, it's man.
I stick the Aether Converter in my backpack, rest it up against the footboard of the bed on the floor, open my door, and yell out down the hall to hopefully, if they don't hear me, but if you want, you can do them a perception check.
Mm-hmm. Where are you yelling?
I am yelling for Star. I need help.
All right. Well, as much as I might not want to, a lot of them have above a 20, and then Shaded has a 27 passive perception, so.
One copy that actually has a personality.
As all of you are mid-conversation, Shaded, Velvy, Shaded and Velvy and Star, you all hear very faintly, although Shaded you hear it far more clearly, what sounds like Kryn calling for Star.
Oh,
Star.
yeah. Pardon, I should go. So, go follow the call?
Alright.
What kind of call is it, mind you? Is it like an emergency, like, come here, something's wrong call, or is it...
Make an insight.
Star!
Make an insight,
The
Velvy.
kitchen's on fire!
Yeah, make an insight, Velvy.
I
Oh my
expected that,
god.
which is why it's
Oh,
funny.
goodness.
You saw my two rolls, right? While I was gone.
Yeah.
Nope.
Velvy, you are entirely unsure. Star, it...
So Velvy doesn't at that point hesitate. She's running towards the call.
How about this?
Sure.
Kryn, why don't you describe the feeling that you are trying to evoke towards Star?
Panicked.
Yeah, she's
Uh-oh.
on, like, there's not even a, if you would pardon me, there's a, excuse me, and she turns and starts running.
Alright.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, Velvy's running just to be safe. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on? This is not normal.
So, one by one, some of you significantly faster than others, all very rapidly make your way to Kryn's room, where you can see the innumerable amount of machineries, thingamajigs, whatchamacallits, and thingamabobs,
Thingamabobbers.
and a whole host of other Magitech things.
Is there any
However,
whirligigs?
there are quite a number of whirligigs, mostly up towards the ceiling, but
Where they
I
should
do
be.
be-
Good go.
I've even got a pile of doohickeys in the corner.
oh yeah, of course.
Whatchamacallit. Zimzabob's over there.
But aside from all those, for Star and Velvy at the very least, and then very shortly after the rest of you, you do notice that Kryn looks visibly distraught. However, you also notice on the bed is a very much sleeping Chisume.
What's going on?
She was hungry, and she said the aether crystals didn't work for her anymore, so we gave her some pure aether out of my converter.
You did what?
And then she went to sleep. But I don't know if it's a good sleep because she's really not breathing in a way that I feel comfortable. It's a little bit heavy.
You couldn't have asked first.
She didn't want you to know?
Why is she being so sneaky about everything?
I don't know.
How much aether did she take?
A lot.
Pure aether out of my converter, and it only takes a little pinch of that pure aether to fire my bullet 240 feet and kill things.
She took a lot.
Yes, but
How much is left in your converter?
About from what he started with, there's about 25% of it left. From your medicine check, looking her over, there do not appear to be any immediate signs for panic. She seems to be breathing normally, although labored, admittedly. It's not exhaustion level labored, necessarily. But she's breathing a lot heavier than what she normally does when she's asleep.
She seems alright. She's breathing a bit heavier than normal.
I think she's got turkey belly, but that's just me.
Tryptophan coma.
You get a very pointed glare from Star.
I thought this was just a little bit safer of a stage than giving her an aether crystal full with her other half.
You're not wrong.
But you could have told me.
She told me not to.
And you take orders from a child?
Okay, so she asked me very politely, shyly, while almost crying.
From a child?
She was gonna cry!
Oh, she was gonna cry. Okay, fine. She pulled the tears on you, damn it.
Yeah, well.
You
Not
have
laughing
to be.
silent, but it's
You have to be
hilarious.
strong. You can't let the tears win.
Alright. Out of character. When my kids cried, I would be the one that jumped straight out of bed, run to their room, and pick them up when they were babies.
Oh. Pick the right
Got you
person.
wrapped around your finger.
Even now,
She
and I
don't
know
need
they
no
do it
ring,
on,
she got you.
even now, and I know they do it on purpose. When they give me the puppy dog eyes and pout, I give them whatever they want still.
Oh, god damn it.
I
You're a pushover. You're a bath mat.
I picked the right person for this, apparently.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
But She's asleep, and although breathing a little rough, I think just some rest.
Oh, hold on. Star's gonna pop the hat down and you're her party. She doesn't care. I guess her clothing has changed. Question mark. Does my robe of eyes even work in here?
Yes. It's very so air quotes. Let me explain the mechanic. Air quotes. Very technically speaking, the visuals of your clothing change to be far more dapper and extravagant. The exact specifics are up to you, because I didn't want to choose that for you. As an example, Ginger did not choose her clothes. They were designed, or they came as a result of what she was used to wearing. And that interpretation was made extremely more extravagant.
Okay.
So,
Well, she's still stripping whatever the fuck robe is on.
to that point, your magic items and the like still work as normal. So.
Okay, so she's still stripping. Got it.
Yeah.
We're gonna immediately walk out.
All right.
That would suck for the only male party in an entire female party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Star's gonna check on how her Aether's doing.
Make a wisdom check for me.
Oh yeah, is Ginger still around? I need to ask her about removing this items thing.
Funnily enough, as you look around, she is not present within the room. For you, Shade, given that your passive perception is infinite, Ginger, when the at the very least, from what you can tell, Ginger has been waiting at the entrance since, at the very least, a little bit before they awoke you, because when you awoke, you did not see Ginger within the meadow itself.
Yeah.
For those that are not entering Crin's room, Ginger is waiting right at the entrance.
It was probably gonna just go to the entrance.
Yeah.
For now.
She is very clearly waiting patiently, kind of letting y'all explore and the like. So. Hopefully that answers your question, Star.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, she's gonna check on the Aether.
Alright. So, as you pull off the robe and you begin to focus on Chisume's Aether and just trying to read it, rather than like a somewhat white, almost opaque color for the auras of like Crin and the like, this one is multicolored. It's got, from what you can tell, it seems almost like a rainbow, where it just kind of starts at white and then slowly transitions to each and every color, and then all the way back, or all the way to the opposite side of black. And it's just like radiating out from her aura. It's like her entire aura is this multicolored hue. However, one thing you do notice is that it does not actually matter where in this room you look. Her aura is to the point where it encompasses the entirety of the room. Such that essentially as you begin to see her aura, you open your eyes and that's all you see. Nothing else.
Wow. So it's not negative, it's just very, 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 very bright.
Actually, Stark, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck.
I say that every time he tells me to make one.
Probably
Well,
shouldn't have been at advantage. Sorry.
no, but your first roll was a nat 20 anyway. So, as this happens, and more to the point, you've used the ability to look at people's aether quite a few times, and so you're not necessarily used to the fact, but you know when you're going to try and do it. And so you close your eyes, and as you focus and concentrate, you intentionally, very, very slowly open your eyes, such that the blindingness of the brightness that is her aura does not permanently blind you, and instead only blinds you for one round.
Alright.
Air quotes blind, right? Because, like, essentially, it's you have to immediately shut your eyes for 6 seconds, and then you open your eyes again in such a way that it does not blind you.
Okay. I'm glad. Oh, that's very bright. Maybe you're right, maybe it's just turkey belly.
You should be fine then.
Yeah.
She recovers from a lot of stuff.
But we should keep an eye on her. Sure, we'll pull back on her robe.
Hey, Bobby, where are you at during all of this?
In the room with them, keeping an eye out.
Okay. And Shade, you're just hanging out there, I assume?
Yeah, right now, I'd be kind of away from everybody just because, not wanting to see, both.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to move my token.
Yeah, you're fine.
Realized.
I will say, only by virtue of the fact that your passive perception is so enormously high, you also get to make this roll. Aidwin, make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie.
You as well, Shade.
Finally a good roll.
Jesus Christ.
Normal roll?
Yep, just normal. Alright. So I'll describe what Shade experiences before Aidwin. Aidwin, you will notice these same things, mind you, but you will you'll get more afterwards, just so you know.
That's fine.
Shade, you feel like there's like this subtle breeze that kind of permeates the air, just kind of keep the temperature under control for each specific individual. But it lasts maybe a fraction of a second, but there's this split moment where the air grows cold and then warms again. Aidwin.
Oh.
Aidwin.
Hello.
Hello. You feel an extremely cold, icy wind pass through you. And immediately, what you realize is that there's an extremely powerful, an extremely old primal approaching very rapidly.
Uh-oh.
You have 1 round since no one else is around you. What do? You have
Shit, of course I'm over by the entrance.
you essentially have a bonus action, a move action, and a standard action.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
It's coming from the entrance, from where you guys entered from. So over here.
Oh.
It seems to be like surging into the house from the entrance.
When she said that nothing in this room was destructible, does she just mean in that one room or everywhere?
No, like this entire plane. Like she meant like anything in this plane, unless y'all want it to be destructible, cannot be even damaged. Like you could throw the most powerful spell possible, and it would do nothing to destroy anything in this realm if you did not will it.
And where's Ginger?
She's like basically standing right in front of you.
Okay.
She does not seem to notice any of this.
Her eyes are just kind of widen a little bit, and she's gonna move in front of her and be like, "Don't move." As she is going to basically just like I can't really. Whatever. I'm sure this is just a limitation of the map itself. But,
No. That is the end of the plane. Like I said, it's a drawbridge. It's a pointless.
It.
It's a pointless drawbridge. That's essentially the entry point into the house. I put the drawbridge there just because I thought it would be funny to have a drawbridge there that led to absolutely nothing.
Okay.
But essentially, the entrance, like that drawbridge, is like the entrance into this plane, so to say. So, like the portal itself is right there, like right there at the drawbridge, so to say. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Aidwin's gonna get her rapier out and tell Ginger to step back, as she is going to start on a channel of delayed blast fireball.
All right.
And Aidwin doesn't mind being in the explosion since she doesn't take fire damage. But she doesn't want Ginger to take fire damage.
Gotcha. All right. Fantastic. So, everyone, as Aidwin, as you begin channeling and concentrating on the spell, all of you find yourselves enraptured in what feels like this frigidly cold wind before all of you appear outside of your house, outside of Ginger's, and back in the inn room.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That's not a good thing.
Standing in front of you, however, is not Onalder. Neither
Oh, no.
was it your diamond-faced friend.
Did they set off the sigil?
Instead, what you find yourself in front of is someone that only one of you recognizes. This tall, muscular male, this large axe in one hand, kind of resting against one shoulder, and dressed in this heavily plated coat and trousers. Aidwin, you recognize who this is immediately. And all of you hear from this individual who, as if his posture alone or the grimace on his face alone wasn't enough to show exactly how angry he was. I also got their weapon wrong, sorry. You see what looks like resting, what looks like a long trident-like weapon that rests across the back of his shoulders, both hands sort of leaning over them. Across his neck, you can see the words royalty tattoo, what is essentially tattooed. The tattoo is the only thing you don't recognize, Aidwin. Other than that, this is your father standing before you. And as you all make that, as you all see him, and Aidwin, you make that recognition, you hear him say, "There doth appear to be a few things that need to be addressed. Tell me, daughter." And one hand reaches forward to gently rest against your head. "Who dares force my daughter into such a situation that such a thing would necessitate activation?" And almost as if the direction of his eyes weren't enough, his eyes alone are sort of looking down towards Aidwin, one hand resting on her head, his other hand holding the large trident, pulling it forward. He sort of almost slams the butt of it against the ground, and as it does, you all feel this icy cold wind erupt out from under it. Aidwin, before your response, real quick, either give me a knowledge planes or an insight. Whichever you choose.
What would knowledge planes even be?
Intelligence.
Oh.
It would be... Oh, that's right, because 5e doesn't have, like, the huge separations.
There you go.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that 5e doesn't do that. Hang on.
I mean, I'm probably going to be rolling insight anyways, just because of my...
What is the... Yeah, go ahead and roll your insight then, if that's higher.
Damn.
Be it high or low?
High, sure, why not?
Okay.
Alright. So as you look at him, what is your response?
Papa, what are you talking about?
Come now, Aidwin. Did you not contact me just earlier about an amount of pain that would be shared between us?
I did. I definitely did.
Then
Let you into
who
our room.
forced such an activation?
Okay, this is gonna be a long story. Why don't you come in, Papa? Sit down, meet my
Already
friends.
in.
And she's just gonna kind of usher him into the room and
He's
sit
already,
He's already in the
here.
room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's already in
My
the room.
star said, "Who let
Okay.
you in our room?"
Yeah, like y'all were in the in your house, and then suddenly, like, you're pulled out of the house, out of Ginger's realm, and put back here in the inn room itself.
Okay. This dude's fucking strong.
I mean, he's your
I think
father.
it was
Yeah.
the thing on the floor too.
Y'all did leave a giant shining golden portal.
True. Alright,
Just
well,
saying.
yeah, she's gonna have him, she's gonna tell him, sit down for, this is gonna take a little bit of time to explain, I think.
Was Chi it out here with us?
Yeah, she's out here too. And she's also even more confused by what's happening.
Oh, she's awake.
Oh wait, sorry, no, she's asleep. Sorry.
Star's
She's
gonna
so-
sigh and pick the child off the floor,
Yeah, she's asleep.
pulling me out half dressed and fucking random ass
Oh.
people.
How did you find us?
Let us say that there are certain things that even the realms themselves cannot stop.
Well, okay. That's sounds terrifying coming from you. Okay. First things first. Hi, Daddy. Nice to see you. These are the friends I've been traveling with for a while. Astaria, Velvi, Shaded Cavern, and Kryn, and Little Chisumi.
I'm gonna give a
How tall is he?
shit.
He's
Wow.
like 6'4".
Oh, he
Ah.
okay. He's shorter than me. Though.
He's
Probably quite short.
he's big for a Hur. He's a Highlander, so.
Yeah, Velvy cranes her neck back and up and says, "Hi. You're Aedwin's father. Nice to meet you. You're bigger than I imagined."
He does not seem to acknowledge anyone else.
Wow.
Single-minded. Got it.
Could at least be kind. He's like in our room. Which he still hasn't answered. Who the fuck let him in?
I have a feeling no one let him in. He would just appeared.
He let himself in because
Yeah.
I mean,
So, how much do you know about our family? The Embrine family, as it were.
There's a moment of pause. And it's during this pause, Aedwin, that you realize he's not holding his axe. In fact, his axe is nowhere to be seen.
I was gonna say his trident.
He's holding a trident instead, a weapon you've never seen him hold before.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Let us say that your primal and the reason for its obedience is not because of some want to be king.
How did you know that? I never said anything about primals.
Another is many things. But one thing he is not is the World Eater. And no matter how much he might try, his primal can rebirth him a million times. But never once will he beat his father.
God damn, everybody's got
Anyone's like,
daddy.
kind of like, wait, what?
Off table. Off table. I was off table. I'm sorry. I was like, God damn, everybody's got daddy issues.
You guys.
I don't. My dad's a Lalafell.
What?
That could be seen as an issue all its
Think
own.
that one over, dear. Think that one over.
I think you just broke my brain. You're gonna have to explain that to me later.
You'll
I should have waited till we
understand
went
later.
back to visit.
You'll
Oh my
understand
god.
later. He says, go ahead.
I don't know what's going on either. I'm just
Adrian, the implications that he just made, you got them too, right?
Another
I don't understand.
was the first of the Embrine dynasty. And though it is true that his primal is that of the Phoenix, the one thing that he never accounted for was those that did not care for his reign. I assume, since you have all encountered him, that he is the one that forced my daughter into activating such a terrible link between us.
I wasn't the one who triggered it.
He is immediately extremely confused.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like dumb himbo boy, like. But though I guess him being all overprotective is also good too, though. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does seem very confused by what you just said, though.
Okay. So you know quite a bit more than I thought you did. Okay. Well, that speeds up quite a bit. Well, we were fighting Arnalder, and he opened a big old gate to his lab that we were in. I don't know if you've seen the lab or know what it is, but he has a giant laboratory. He summoned somebody, Josephina, and she was trying to break out of his tempering, I think.
The
And
deliverer.
yeah. She was the one who activated it.
I see. The emotion in his face drops almost immediately. And his head kind of looks towards the ground. And then it is worse than I feared. His eyes close for a moment. Go ahead, Star.
Worse than you feared?
I had hoped that whatever it was that caused our bond to be activated was a creature. Something we could fight. Something we could kill.
Is that not the case in this instance? I mean,
We did give him a pretty good run for his money. He ran away when he was looking pretty beat up.
Looks between all of you.
Means the deliverer is something we can't kill?
No, Arnaldur himself.
Okay.
Josephina.
gotta catch 'em all.
She allowed herself to be subjected to his experiments. She was the first and only one to willingly subject themselves to such experiments. No one else knew what was actually happening. No one else knew the consequences. This includes Arnaldur. In his glorified ambition, he lost sight of what mattered. Protection against the beast tribes. Nothing more. That was the purpose of the Animus Project. Named so. It was named so for the first to ever undergo the experiments. Josephina. Unfortunately for her, the experiments were too successful. They made her and the primal, as they are known, one and the same. Her and Anima. She was the first, the beginning, and the most powerful. But she was bound to Arnaldur. So long as Arnaldur exists, he can summon her at his whim. And unfortunately for her, she must do as he commands. No matter the cost.
Off table, I think I know where this crystal's going.
Do you though? Do you?
I think it's in our dungeon.
Alas, it seems that all of my attempts to destroy Arnaldur failed. Though I did not know at the time what was to happen to me. All I knew was that it could give me the power to stop him.
What did you do?
I did what was necessary to stop Arnaldur. I ensured his ritual would succeed, that he would summon her. But I also ensured that he would never be seen as her ally.
But what does that mean for you? What exactly did you do?
I, truthfully, did nothing. It was your mother who did something. And he outstretches his other hand, the one not holding the trident. And as he raises it up, you watch forming next to him this female humanoid with this icy blue skin beginning to appear next to him. And he says, "Your mother sacrificed her life to try and stop him. Leviathan alone was not enough. We knew that. And so she did the only thing that we knew could strengthen us. She turned herself into a primal and fed herself to me."
Clean and simple is inspired by you, Dad.
Really now? Inspired by Dad, huh? But he looks to you, Aidwin, and he says, "Never once have I wanted to reveal this to you. I hoped, after so many thousands of years, that our daughter would be allowed to be born into a world of peace. Even when Bismarck and the other primals appeared, we took them down, and the world returned to peace."
How old are you, Dad?
Back when dirt was new.
I am old enough to have forgotten my name. The name you know me by is simply a title given to me by the people of Limsa. Nothing more.
I suppose that makes sense.
However, and as he lifts the trident back up and places it back on it against his back, he says, "That being said, it appears that our fight is not over. I apologize, Aidwin, for never telling you of your heritage. But a false king will be smited. Anyone, and I do mean anyone who dares to threaten me or mine will suffer the full wrath and will be forever labeled as an enemy of the Embrine dynasty."
Funny, Ifrit said the same thing.
I was about to say that.
They got the same script. Shh.
That's good.
Ow.
That's really good. But no, he looks to you, Aidwin, and says, "Of course you would." So, make a deception check for me, Aidwin, with disadvantage.
Oof. Okay.
Lie to daddy.
He looks you over. His head tilts for a moment, and he says, "Wait, has he not told you?
Not told me what.
Your bond is incomplete."
Arnalder said something about that, and I didn't really want to stay with him in that place to finish it, but Ifrit and I have bonded a little.
I see.
I honestly have some questions for him.
No, it makes sense that he wouldn't tell you. Such a thing would have likely made you hesitant.
What?
Aidwin. And his head slowly lifts up to look you in the eyes, and he says, "Aidwin, he may not think you need to know. Ifrit is your brother." And that's where we're going to take a break.
Are we?
Back.
Fantastic. I didn't catch you saying that you stepped away to take a leak, but I did capture everything else.
Oh, I mean,
It's okay.
I think I muted myself before I said it, so
Well,
to be fair, I don't think
fair.
anyone heard it.
True. Anyways, getting back into it, you all have learned quite a bit from Aidwin's father thus far. And Aidwin
Also,
you just learned quite a bit.
Nunny!
I'm also kind of thinking, wait, is Aidwin's father actually the, patriarch of the Embrine dynasty?
It has to be put in like the Yakuza text though. Patriarch of the Embrine clan.
Because that's the vibe I'm getting off this conversation, though.
Well, Another looks down to you, Aidwin, and says,
Arnalder?
Oh god, when did he get shit? We're fucked!
Down here.
I'm sorry. I don't want to reveal his name, so I'm thinking of everyone else that's part of the Embrine and not him.
I was about to say, when did we get into combat? I wasn't gone that long. I'm also not that drunk.
But no. Your father raises one hand to gently pat your head, Aidwin, and he says, "Fear not. He may have come back, but we did not give everything to simply allow him to do as he wishes." And with that, his entire form very rapidly shifts to this, icy dust and then dissipates.
What the fuck?
I know how to make an exit. Okay.
There. I found a text generator.
Oh no.
Aidwin?
They were just kind of standing there dumbfounded.
I have so many questions.
Your father just evaporated.
Did you know he could do any of that? Or that he knew any of that?
No.
I guessed not.
Surprise!
As far as I knew, when I was a kid and growing up, he was just. I mean, he was obviously a very battle-hardened individual, but he was always just a big, laughing goofball. And he
Imagine
relied
circumstances.
on my
Sorry.
stepmom to kind of fill in the gaps of the intellectual stuff he didn't know. Maybe it's just because he's thousands of years old and just doesn't know the. Oh, my head hurts.
Thinks it's likely was more of an act than an actuality.
Star will walk over and pat your shoulder softly.
It's like an Omni. It's like the fucking reveal in Invincible with Omni Man. Oh,
It's like discovering your parents still have sex.
that was a harrowing day for me.
I
Daddy's saving mommy from going to God. No!
Oh my god.
ew. Just ew. My parents in
Anyway.
general, just ew.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway.
I'm so. I don't even know what to say.
I'm not sure there is an appropriate thing to say in this situation. That is quite a load of very suddenly dumped information.
And then he just leaves. Like he didn't say anything.
Yep.
Not only did he just leave, he didn't even open the door. Was that even teleporting? She looks between Aedwin and Star, who she's pretty sure she can teleport.
Star
It
shrugs.
could be considered teleporting, I guess, but
But you make Arcana checks.
he usually just hits things with a big axe.
He still looks like he's good at hitting things with a big axe.
I didn't have disadvantage, but 12.
Yeah, Adrian, you've never seen or even heard of a warrior using magic in any capacity. Star. And I will say, Adrian, you also get you get at least a glimpse into this from your training in Arcana. But Star, you understand this full well. Whatever he did was not teleportation.
Okay.
It was something else entirely.
I don't think that was teleportation.
Hold on. I have an idea, but I need to.
That just begs more questions now.
Yeah.
I'm.
Do you need a drink, Aedwin?
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Star's
Velvy is
gonna-
going to go get drinks. Stiff ones.
Star's just gonna make sure Jizumi's tucked in and everything.
Easy enough to do. As mentioned before, in action, y'all can go back to your house.
Yes, and I am going to go back to the house real quick because
Yep.
I left all my toys on the floor.
Indeed. Titus. Not snow exactly, it was more like ice.
Okay. Okay, I just remembered the spell. There's an actual spell.
I
I don't think my character would know that. That was just me as a player.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Star?
Star will go back to the house as well. See if Ginger's still there because she wanted to ask her about some more smaller work.
Oh god, I left a fireball in the house.
Oh my fucking
As you come back, the fireball is enormous.
Can I just
that thing back where it came
cancel it?
from or so help me.
But that's back. Or so help me.
Normally, I would say yes, 8-win. However, at the moment, I have to say, give me a moment so I can read the text of specifically delayed blast fireball.
There it is.
Why was the delayed blast fireball being put off in the house?
Because I got a nat 20 on perception, and I felt a very big primal coming. I'm like, oh god, they're going to come into the house.
Oh.
But then it was Dad.
So your reaction was to make a fireball.
I made sure before I did it that I remembered that everything was indestructible in the house if I didn't want it to be destroyed.
I know, it's just your reaction choices.
So,
Look,
here's the issue with delayed blast fireball.
if I drop concentration, it
when
explodes.
when the spell ends, either because your concentration is broken, or because you decide to end it.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, okay, everybody move.
I'll
Just spell magic.
before we consider everyone to have entered the portal and your concentration to have willingly ended, go ahead and make a flat perception check for me, Aidwin. Or not perception, Arcana or perception, whichever you want. I'll say with advantage, because, god damn it. You know what? It doesn't matter. You roll high enough. You're able to remember long before anyone re-enters the house that you still have your delayed blast fireball there. However, I will say, you are unsure if Ginger is still in the exact same position, which would
I did tell her to move back, though.
True. But you were not there to see whether or not she did move, so you are unsure if she's still there. The fireball's still there, and it has about 6 seconds. And I'll say you're at the top of the turn order, air quotes, before it goes off. So you have one turn to decide before it goes off.
Okay. Well, I'm back in the house now, right?
No, this is before any of you have entered. This is like the portal to the house opens, the platinum portal opens, and before someone's able to step through, you remember that the delayed blast fireball is still there.
We have Ginger's link shell, right?
Yes, you also still have the portal to her workshop.
Yeah, but I feel like that would take too long.
It does take a minute to cast.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go over the link shell and just like, Ginger, are you still in the house? If so, you gotta move.
No? Question mark?
Okay. Okay. And then she will end the spell then.
Okay. You end the spell. Go ahead and roll 11d6 for me.
Oh no. Wait, why?
Who knows?
Because the spell still went off. Still goes
Yeah,
off.
the spell still goes off. Who knows if it actually hit anyone? You don't know.
Uh-oh. Wait, hold on.
All you know is that the spell went off. So you have to roll the damage, and let's see what happens. Who knows?
That's 12d6. So you can just get rid of one of the d4s.
Let's
the
remove
d6s,
the
rather.
last one. Well, you said 12d6, right?
That's what it rolled automatically.
Yeah, and then re-rolled the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're fine.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, because it was 11. Yeah, you're right.
So 49.
Soldiers remove one of the 4s. So...
Yeah, so 49.
48. No, 49. Yeah, you're right. 49. Alright. You release the spell. Do you then allow people to enter?
Okay, it should be good now.
Well, you've been out of this place an hour, and it seems we're blowing things up.
Look,
Go.
I felt something powerful coming. I thought it was coming in the house.
Oh, a response to Shade. I didn't expect it to last that long before you blew something up.
Yeah.
The one who has an unhealthy obsession with explosions.
No fireballs in the house.
Okay,
As you walk
won't
through,
do it again.
As each of you walk through, just out of curiosity, who's the first to walk through?
I'm not going in there first with Chi
I'm
Chi.
not going in first.
I'll go in first.
Okay. Aidwin, you're the first one to see. There's no damage to the entrance of the house. However, as you find out quickly, and the rest of you soon to follow, there is an enormous scorch mark in the shape of a spherical ball all around the entrance, and it even extends into the hallway. You can see there was very, very evidently an enormous explosion of fire that happened not that long ago, judging by the residual heat. That happened right here. But no damage to the house.
Okay.
I suppose it's time to call the servants, since they are meant for this kind of thing.
Yeah. Aidwin feels bad, so she will also start prestidigitating it clean as well.
I
And
will
trying to,
and go put Chi Chi in bed.
and make it not smell like sulfur.
So, as you go back into the house and begin to clear away the sulfurous smell, as well as the summoning the servants to help clear the residual, you do notice that the servants, as you're like, we should call the servants, you look up and all of the servants are there. Like, every single one of them. And immediately, without your even needing to say so, they begin to pull out rags and the like to start cleaning away the soot that's on the walls themselves. And as you all begin to sort of try and truly process what all has transpired within a mere maybe 4 or 5 hours since you woke up, that's where we're going to call it for the night, as Star sort of splits off from the group for a moment to go and lay Chi-Chi down. We are going to start the 3 questions with Star. Hello.
Hello. Today's just been really fun. It's been pretty relaxing, pretty interesting. The place is huge. We got to chill and hang out. somebody needed to touch something and overfed my child. Pretty normal day.
Really like
I know, but now she's sleep coma.
If she had a tryptophan coma, it'll be fine.
I don't know if it's fine, but it probably is.
I mean, a side note, you have somewhere
I've
you
had
can.
fun.
A side note, you can safely store Chisume away where no one else can get to her.
I still need to talk to Ginger because I want to remove the enchantment from the robe and do stuff with it.
Yeah. That's true.
I also have a dress I have to sell her.
I would also like to see if she can upgrade my arm.
Anything else, Star?
No, I'm just excited. I'm excited for more downtime and hanging out with everyone and just doing shit.
Alright. Up next, we'll go with, I'm sure all of you expected this, Corinne. Hello.
Hello. I had a great time tonight. I had fun. I tried taking a little bit of initiative, and I put the baby in food coma.
Yeah.
You did good, though.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
proud of you. I am very proud of you for taking initiative. You did good.
But as I was telling Bait earlier, if anyone's gonna take a risk, he picked the right person.
Yeah.
I will experiment. If she wants to try to eat from the ether converter, I'd be the one that says, "Yeah, let's do
Go for it.
that."
Why
I would
not?
have said yes.
Admittedly, I will say the reason she didn't pull Star with her is the very childlike, I'm afraid of getting in trouble, please don't tell her because I'm really, really afraid she'll be really, really mad at me kind of mentality.
Okay, when did she get like that? When have I ever been mad at her?
She's a child.
Fair.
And it's not necessarily that like she trusts Kryn super a lot. Like that's not the actual reason.
It's just you're not mom.
Yeah, and Kryn is able to supply the aether. Maybe? Oh, she does.
Auntie Kryn
Yeah.
is the one that's gonna
You're
get
the
you.
milkmaid.
The odds are
That's
always
literally your title.
Yeah, the odds are always in your favor.
But I had a great night, and I don't know what I'm looking forward to at this point. I want to see what's gonna happen. I've got toys to play with.
Oh yeah. Your whole ass own workshop. Yeah, the one thing that, like, above all else, she was really, really wanting. So next up, we'll go to Magnus. Hello. We don't often get to hear your 3 questions.
Yeah, sorry. I usually have to go to bed.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and hear them since we have the opportunity to.
I liked the twist that was, oh, Adwin's father is a primal too. Because I know Sky didn't originally write Adwin's dad in that way.
Nope.
This
And I know Sky wrote it as Adwin's mother was the Embrine. So
well,
that's
no, it's still her dad, but
To clarify, there is the mother that Adwin knows as her stepmother, and then there's the mother that Bear referred to as not her stepmother, but as her mother.
The biological. The creator.
Oh, well, that just brings up more questions. But anyway,
yeah.
I mean, all of the confusion, all of the answers that just bring more questions, because that's all this game seems to have, is answers that beg. Because when does it ever just give a straight answer, god damn it?
It's almost like it's a Final Fantasy campaign.
I mean, my experience with Final Fantasy has been 14 and 15, so 15 was just kind of a letdown, because
This is
It was
typically
like-
how, like, this kind of thing is how a lot of the early Final Fantasies were. They give you a lot of exposition, just like, yeah, this is the thing. Have fun.
what I didn't like, yeah, I still can't think of anything.
Mhm.
Nice.
What I'm looking forward to. Yes, more downtime. More not getting harassed by Arnalder or the Warl, because fuck those guys. They're assholes. They need to stop harshing our mellow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure you're just dying to let us know, especially after all the suspense. So, Shaded, hi.
Hi.
In
What
case you
did I
didn't
like?
know, Edwin, you're last.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I like? Okay. Well, apparently Shade can turn this brilliant shade of pink. Not having done
And
that
crimson.
before, that kind of... Because, yeah, I'll admit, Shade doesn't have a lot of experience with women. Not because he's never spent any time around them, just, training as a white mage takes up a lot of time. I just never really had to...
Plus, a lot of the white mage robes, they're very covering, they don't reveal much, and, they're very loose.
It's not like there's a lot of, people like him. He's very different. Albinoism kind of set them apart with the funny looking eyes and pale even for, Rodigan.
Yeah, but
How has Shade been, with this party at that point? Like,
yeah, but there's yeah.
It was, and then there's a very apparently attractive and very rich Rodigan lady is now, granted not aiming anything at him, but still not wearing very much around him. He's kind of like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to handle this. Staring at the floor.
She's not
Staring at the floor.
Yeah, she's not intentionally trying to.
She's not intentionally, but it's the thing. It's really hard not to look. Okay, I think that can be said for anybody who can appreciate a pretty girl. It's impossible not to look. Anybody who says otherwise is lying.
It's almost like it's intentional on her part.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, and what else didn't I like? So yes, big interdimensional house, thing like this. A room that he assumes would have belonged to somebody else, but he wasn't directly shown the room, so he's not going to make any assumptions since he is new. So he just kind of went off and found his own little peaceful place. If changes are going to be made, like off table, that room's going to end up getting changed to fit him, are you going to want like any like specifications for him so that, you can kind of customize it to Shade?
Oh no.
Okay.
I didn't. I did not ask any of my players for any information regarding the creation of their room at all.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
So no, your room will be based off of me.
Okay. I'll try to keep it rustic. That's kind of his thing. But okay, whatever. It'll be a surprise. Yay.
Don't worry.
Like,
I
the
tailor it
entirety
to the
of
character. I tailor it to the characters. Don't worry.
Okay. Is there anything I didn't like?
I
mean,
think at least one thing that you did.
Not being able to follow everybody in the rest of the house was a little bit of annoyance, but like I said, my character found his own thing to do and then ended up levitating 6 feet off the floor, not realizing it until, he get poked out of his thing and fell on his ass.
Well, that's the funny thing is you didn't actually even get poked. She got like within a couple inches.
I felt her aura poke me. It's fine. It was close enough. Something got my attention and I lost concentration, and now my ass has a big dirt wad on the back.
You know what? That throws off real big incel type energy there, bud. You felt her aura poke you and you got that distracted?
She simply got near you and you realized it.
Sorry.
I'm not sure what else would
within 30 feet of me. Oh,
Oh no.
I was going to do that, but then I was like, it would be better if she did it, so I'm gonna hope she does it. And then you did it.
We're on the same wavelength.
Oh dear.
So what are you looking forward to, Shade?
Getting to explore the rest of the house, and then find out what else this place has to offer. Then finding out how the hell he's going to help with everything else that's going on, because being the newest person in the group, he's still feeling kind of out of it as far as the group goes. He's kind of following everybody until he finds where he kind of fits. And so he's still kind of waiting for that moment to come.
Fair enough. Alright.
Just
Phrasing.
Phrasing things to come. Indeed.
oh giggity, oh my, sure, why not? I already wear white. What? Fine, it's okay. My character wears white. That's his thing. And I don't care if it's past Labor Day.
Yeah, she wears the white.
To be clear, I was looking at something else and I came back and I heard "moment to come" and I'm like, phrasing.
Well, I am beyond a reasonable doubt sure that all of you want to hear the next person's thoughts and opinions. So, we'll go to me. I liked the entire... I love the entire session. Especially this last part, as everyone is well aware.
it's a good bit.
It's a very good bit. The map, as I said, admittedly, as amazing as it is, I'm gonna let y'all all in on a little secret. The entirety of this map was created today in the span of about 40 minutes.
Wow.
Because I forgot to create it at all. So I was like, So I created it while I was in a call with MJ the entire time. Yeah. All of that dissection stuff you heard me talking about was me creating the dungeon, by the way. Star.
Oh dear.
Anyways, what I liked was the entire session. It was honestly amazing. I knew, obviously, going into it, how Star was going to react when I described what it was that y'all were going to see Joyful Ginger wearing. It's just a bonus that I got to pull Shade in with it. As well as
Shady cat.
from
Might as well just start calling them rose quartz now. What the fuck?
it seems like I got pretty much everyone but Velvy with that dress.
No. Velvy was looking.
Uh-oh. Oh, I see.
Velvy wasn't. I did say Velvy was not being shy about looking.
That's true. Well, it seems like I got everyone in the party with what she was wearing, which just makes me even more happy.
Well, you already knew Star was gonna knee buckle and hit the floor.
Yeah. Which I will say, Star, don't worry. Ginger noticed.
Yeah, I was well aware she probably did.
She noticed all of it. Yeah. But what I disliked was the realization that Shade wouldn't be able to pass through the prismatic wall without a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle it. Well, maybe one pass. I think I'd be like, I don't feel good, guys.
If you passed the saves, I think you could get through up to the 3rd layer. If you passed all 3 of the first saves. But I think after that point, you do not have the HP to get through the rest of the layers.
Dude, at least you didn't, make a globe of that shit over me and just, reverse gravity and I go through the entire globe.
The walls, as she implied, I don't remember if she outright stated it, but the walls of the area beyond that are legitimately prismatic wall. There was a reason that it took so long for her to craft this building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I disliked, was just that realization of, oh right, Titus just doesn't get to come through. And for a moment, I was like, I'm just gonna move him out. But then I was like, that's even more dickish. That's intentional dick move, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let him at least, be here for it. So, yeah. What I'm looking forward to, aside from the end of this bit, y'all exploring the rest of this house, because I'm gonna say it because I don't know, I legitimately don't actually know if any of you noticed it when I was pointing out the living room stuff with the piano and the harp, but there's a trap door in the living room.
Oh, that was. I saw it, but I wasn't able to really tell what it was.
No. This.
Oh.
It's a trap door.
I saw that.
Oh.
Ginger didn't. Of everything that she pointed out, she basically pointed out everything in all the other rooms. That's the one thing in this entire place she did not mention.
It's her Hey Arnold-esque shrine, like Helga to Aidwin.
Maybe, who knows? But what I'm really looking forward to is just y'all exploring this house, because like I said, there's obviously the future patches to come, but there's so much in this house that she didn't go over that are in the rooms that y'all can just kind of explore and do whatever you want, which I figured would probably dedicate an entire session to, so y'all can just kind of realize what's in your house. Plus, by next session, I should have it at the very least the 2nd floor done. So
makes me almost glad and also regretful I'm not playing an artificer. I like playing a type of character, and this place would be
heaven.
Yeah.
All right.
You could always join the Artificer Guild.
That's true.
I don't know if that would work so well as a white mage.
Who knows? I mean, you do have a tinker.
Job.
You do
I'm
already
taking up weaving in my magic base.
That's true. Technically speaking, Kryn was a part of the Alchemist Guild already.
I still
So-
am. I have kept my dues up to date.
Yeah. So you know. But last and most certainly not least, I'm sure he's absolutely eager to get this bit done and over with. Adwin, hi. I saved you for the
Oh, I thought you-
absolute last.
Oh, see, I thought you were gonna bring in fucking Odo, who apparently has also contacted you, and then Delger, who is rejoining the game. Anyway, yeah, as cool as the house is, I think I'm a little more Adwin's a little more shaken up by the bombshells dropped on her by her dad.
Hi.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, right, all everything you know, but I also did not change what you personally put in there. So
True.
You made him not a himbo. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Daddy Himbo.
Oh my god.
Adrian knows.
Well, yeah, so I mean yeah, I liked the bombshells, the plot twist. It thickens.
Moist.
Yeah. She already wanted to talk to Ifrit about stuff. Now she has even more to say to him. Didn't really dislike anything. And yeah, looking forward to talking to Ifrit and kinda figuring that out.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you all for joining. I'm so glad that all of you enjoyed the session, and I've been sitting on that description of your dad for so long. I was just like,
I do enjoy that he is the other my favorite primals theme. Leviathan.
Yeah. He's Leviathan. Apparently, he has Shiva with him. Who knows what else? He claims to be the king of the Embrine.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need to purchase a hat stand.
Oh, you're just gonna leave Hattie at the door.
No, I'm gonna plop it down in my dark room, kick the door shut, put him on it, shine a flashlight on him, and start interrogating him. Because there's things we need to fucking know from that hat.
I don't think I should receive talking to your hat like that. I'll start to question your sanity.
I know he hasn't even spoken around you yet.
Nope.
Ugh. He's an asshole.
Actually,
I mean, he's part La Habrea, so it's not surprising.
I never heard about this. I don't need to know. I know. No. Law breadsticks in a bowler? What the fuck?
It's not a bowler. It's a black mage hat.
Oh, so he looks like a dunce cap? That makes sense.
Technically, his appearance is that of the level 60 astrologian artifactor.
I did decorate him already.
He also has a red mage hat.
He also has a red Geishel statue on him.
Very confused.
Why is he wearing all this shit?
All right.
Had